Welcome back. Now, KwaZulu-Natal families are getting much needed help following floods that left them with nothing. Today, NGOs are distributing food supplies to people housed in community halls and churches. eNCA reporter Lindokuhle Xulu is there. Lindo, how's it going there so far? Lindo, I'm not sure if you can still hear me. I just wonder how it's going there so far.
Well, Maseha, I'm struggling to hear you there, but I'm hoping that you can pick me up. We are in Indwedwe municipality, where more of those relief efforts are still continuing to come into the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The damage has been extensive. We were told by Premier Sihle Zikalala on a briefing last week that, in fact, it was befitting that this would be declared a national state of disaster instead of a provincial disaster, because he says the damage to the province was quite extensive and it would require the entire cabinet from government to actually sort this out. But it's not just government that's moving into this area to try and help alleviate the pressures that would be felt by those who lost their lives, by those who lost their homes, and those that basically are living in areas where infrastructure damage has been prevalent. We understand that Indwedwe municipality, in fact, is the second largest region when it comes to, or the second hardest hit region when it comes to the devastation of the floods, with eThekwini leading. But NGOs have told us today that it's some of those regions that cannot be left to fend for themselves when it comes to relief coming into these areas. And that is why we are seeing the African Global Networks as well as the National Lotteries Commission coming into this area, and they are bringing all sorts of relief. My colleague Joe Komane will show you just underneath here there are hundreds of food packs that had been set aside for community members that you would have seen behind me when we started this particular live crossing to you. And I can tell you that this is exactly what they are saying they are doing, not just here. Next week they'll be moving to other parts of the KwaZulu-Natal province in other municipalities to bring about the same relief. I can tell you that also what we've just seen in terms of what's coming here are also JoJo tanks to help alleviate pressures when it comes to issues of water. Water and electricity infrastructure has been hugely damaged in this province. So those are some of the reliefs that are coming. We understand those 10,000 litres, there'll be about 4 of them that will be going to various wards within the municipality of Indwedwe to ensure that this particular issue of water, while government is trying to fix it, at least there is some form of relief. But just behind me, as I did say, there are already community members that have been, selected by some of the ward councillors. They are here, they are in a list, but essentially it's just to help alleviate some of those pressures when it comes to the issues that are facing them at this stage, as we've seen many of the floods devastating these parts. What we want to do now is basically to just join Ubaba Umeya Sam Fega, who is just here, just to get a sense really of some of the things that are happening. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. We are live on eNCA at the moment. Just take us through the devastation that was felt. We do understand Indwedwe is in fact the second largest hit region in KwaZulu-Natal. Just take us through the damage that you've seen.
Thank you very much, and greeting to eNCA viewers. Well, it's very difficult to explain. We're facing a huge challenge, as you rightfully said. We are the worst hit next to eThekwini. The reality, I think, it's because we are close to eThekwini. So we lost over about 12 people that passed away. But the most devastation that happened, it was on the properties of municipalities, the roads, the bridges. I cannot name it. It's a mess, and we are battling. I mean, you can tell guys coming right into this municipality that it is so difficult to even access the municipality because of the roads infrastructure that is damaged. But people don't have houses. As you can see, all these people that are here, most of them, they don't have shelters, they don't have where to go. So we are really battling, and we are hit very hard.
Tell us about the interventions then, because some people have argued that while eThekwini looks like one of the hardest hit, in fact number one, but we also have other regions that are affected by these floods. Tell us about the relief you've received from the, some of the government efforts, but also at the same time, in terms of what you are receiving today, how far does this go? Do we need to see this happening at a constant? Because at the end of the day, people are affected, and while these efforts are here, it seems that there's more that needs to be done.
We must really appreciate what the government of the country and the government of the province that have done, led by Premier Sihle Zikalala. Also, after the president has declared this as a national disaster, we have seen government coming in, helping people in terms of food parcels, in terms of shelters, in terms of everything. So we have seen an intervention. But again, we want this to be happening more in terms of our region, as you rightfully say. iLembe was the second region that was hit after eThekwini, and we're getting this help. And we very much appreciate the help we're getting today, because we know that over 400 people today will sleep with something in their stomach. And we will need to appeal to more to private sector, to government, to keep on coming to our municipalities, because we are a small municipality. We're not making any profit. We are a municipality that depending on a grant. So when we're getting help like that, it really pleases us and it gives us a chance to be able to deliver to our people.
Just very quickly, we are seeing a donation of some of the JoJo tanks there to help with the pressures of water. But talk to us about water and electricity. Have you been given a timeline by those in the higher up offices in terms of when will people of Lindokuhle municipality be getting water?
I can tell you, me seeing that truck that has got JoJos, 3 JoJos, I think those are 10,000 liters. I'm so happy because we've got areas that we still got pipes that iLembe, as the people that are supplying us water, that are still working. And of course, they've given us a time frame that within the period of 2 weeks, we'll have the water back running. But having those JoJos, it's going to relieve the pressure from us, because we're going to put them in strategic areas. We do have tanks that have been provided by our government. Also, the private sectors, the organizations, they've given us water tanks that will be able to fill those JoJo tanks. So it has given us a bit of a relief as a municipality.
All right, just just giving us a sense really of what this means in terms of receiving such a huge donation. But we talk about these organizations, we talk about African Global Networks, we talk about the National Lotteries, a commission. But at the end of the day, what is important is this picture right here of all of these go-go's, young people and old, that have been affected by this flood. They've got nowhere to go, they don't know what they will eat, but these are some of these efforts that are helping them during this time of need, and that's exactly what is important. As the mayor of this particular municipality thanks all of the efforts that are coming in both from government and NGOs.
All right, Lindokuhle Xulu, let's leave it there for now.